Hashem, for the success of all Am Yisrael, success B'ezrat Hashem, all your family. May B'ezrat Hashem, all those who are sick will find a complete healing, and all those that are single will find their zivug, and B'ezrat Hashem, all those who need Parasha will have Parasha, and all those who need Geulah or redemption will find their Geulah on a personal level, and B'ezrat Hashem on a level of all Klal Am Yisrael. Amen. Ken Yeh Ratzon B'ezrat Hashem. In the Mirat B'ezrat Hashem of Tzaddik Baba Saleh, may HaKadosh Baruch Hu B'ezrat Hashem bless each and every one of our holy Kehillah with big bracha v'atzlacha, b'siyata d'shmaya gedola, ma'kedalamu v'chetkon v'zketkon, and may B'ezrat Hashem this week be a week full of redemption. Amen. Ken Yeh Ratzon B'ezrat Hashem. You know, but we see something beautiful in this week's Parasha, and it's something that mamash relates to what we see in today's day and our very, very unorganized, very, very confused world. We see Rabotai in this week's Parasha, HaKadosh Baruch Hu brings the Makkah, brings the plague of Choshech, darkness upon Mitzrayim, where it says that for a period of time, Egypt became so dark, where the Egyptians, one that was standing was unable to sit down, and the one that was sitting down was unable to stand. And this darkness actually was a darkness that no Egyptian was able to see anything, no Egyptian was able to move, nothing. The Chida brings the reasoning of this Makkah, of this plague, as something that was actually multi-purpose. Well, a lot of the times when we look at the Makkot, when we look at the 10 plagues that HaKadosh Baruch Hu brought in Egypt, we think that these 10 plagues were only purposed to hurt and to punish the Egyptians. But the Zohar HaKadosh says that actually in many of the Midrashim and the Gemarot, that the plague of Choshech, of darkness, was actually really meant for the Jews. Where the essence of it was to not allow the Jews to find shame and the Jews to not be embarrassed. From what aspect is that? The Midrash says that when Bnei Israel were about to be redeemed from Egypt, from the slavery, many of the Jews didn't want to be redeemed. Where many of the Jews found it a certain level of comfort of being slaves in Egypt. They had no worries, they had their food, they had their job. It was a little bit tough, but after so many years in the slavery, they didn't even look to find any redemption. Where the Zohar HaKadosh says, 4 out of every 5 Jews didn't want to leave Egypt. Where they were comfortable in slavery, they were comfortable in the darkness. Now HaKadosh Baruch Hu, how is he going to redeem Bnei Israel when there was such a big majority of Bnei Israel that didn't want to be freed from the slavery? They didn't even want a redemption. So, Chazal say, what did HaKadosh Baruch Hu need to do? He needed to actually take away all those Jews that were going against it. They were limrod, they were fighting against the redemption. But now HaKadosh Baruch Hu did not want to embarrass those Jews by allowing them to die or to get sick, to do teshuvah, and to allow the Egyptians to see that. Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu said, if the Egyptians will see that the Jews are dying, the Egyptians are going to say, look, the Jews are dying as much as we are dying. It's not something that is essentially to our nation. They are not a special nation. They are just people. And the Jews will lose respect in the eyes of the world. So what did HaKadosh Baruch Hu do? He brought darkness upon the world. And within that darkness, a lot of the Jews that were fighting and they were rebelling against the redemption, HaKadosh Baruch Hu took them and he allowed the other Jews to bury them, not allowing any of the Egyptians to see that they passed away. The Zohar HaKadosh says something beautiful. It says something that is mamash awakening when we see what's happening in this world at this time. The Zohar HaKadosh says, L'atid lavo, at the time of the last redemption, that exact same thing will happen. Where within the world, there will be a majority of the world that will simply not want redemption. That they will be so absorbed, they were so deep into the Gvura, so deep in the Malchut, so deep in the Dinim, so deep in the slavery of today, where they won't even think of even finding any appeal for a redemption, for a Geulah, for a repaired world. And when you look at today, you see, Rabotai, an entire generation of Jews, that as much as they want the Geulah, you see that they found a pleasure and they found a taste for the slavery that there is today. You see the young, that they're enslaved to all the shtiyot in the world. You see people that are suffering, that they don't even able to see the light of redemption, not even able to see the end of all their troubles. That is slavery. We see people that they're a slave to the Yetzer Hara. A lot of those people they're not even looking to find the redemption. They're not even trying to see light of a redemption. Abotai, the test of this generation will be whether or not we will act like those Bnei Israel, like those Jews at the time of Yetziat Mitzrayim, that they didn't want to see the redemption, or we will act like the small minority of Eretz Bnei Israel that got up and craved a redemption. And those Jews, they achieved that redemption. The problem is, Abotai, in today's day, that there is no even desire to bring upon ourselves the Geulah. You know, Abotai, a lot of the times we hear people talk about, we want Mashiach, we want the Geulah, we want the redemption. But ask those people in reality, really, do they see the redemption coming? Are they able to taste it? Are they able to do effort in their life in order to bring the redemption? Are they working for it? Do they wake up in the morning thinking, Tov, what can I do today to bring the Geulah forward? Not so much. And it's not something that Chas v'Shalom we are pointing fingers at one or two individuals. It's all of us. We wake up in the morning every day, instead of thinking about, are we going to bring the Geulah? Instead of thinking about, are we going to free ourselves from all our slavery? What do we think of? We think of the shtiyot of this world. Abotai, we are acting like those exact same group of people that didn't want to leave the slavery. The first step, Abotai, of every person leaving slavery on any level, it could be on the level of a nation like we are, but it can even be on a level on a personal problem, where a person is enslaved to his fears, he's enslaved to his desire, he's enslaved to all these technological addiction that there is today, enslaved to Chas v'Shalom, other addictions. The first step of even being able to imagine or even being able to make some sort of redemption possible is having the desire to bring upon ourselves a redemption from the first place. And that is what, Abotai, I think that in a day like today, Monday, which is the day of Gvurah, the day of strength, we all need to focus on. We all need to focus on seeing the light, seeing the redemption, and trying to find a way to materialize that redemption within our life. Or to find the desire, to find the will, to work in order to bring upon ourselves a better time, a better place, a better situation. Abotai, if we were able to do so, half the job of the redemption is already here. Or if not, more than half the job. Now, Abotai, we always tell young, they come and they ask, what can I do for success? What can I do to be successful? So the answer is always very simple. The first step, know what you want. The moment you're going to know what you want, it's just a matter of what you're going to have to do to get there. The problem is that all the young, they don't know what they want. So they're running right 20 feet, then they're running left 20 feet, then they're running the other side 20 feet. So they end up nowhere. The secret of success, like we said about time, on a personal level, redemption Am Yisrael, is knowing what we want. Whether or not we want to be in a better place, whether or not we want. And if we want, they said there, do the calculation of what we need to do, and do it. Our problem, Abotai, the desire is not 100% there. And that's what, Abotai, B'at Hashem, we all need to, on a personal level, work on. Finding a way to build and to greaten our desire to bring upon ourselves a redemption on any level for every problem that we deal with within our life. If we will be able to do so, 50% or even more of that problem has already been eliminated, and we're already almost 2 steps within the light. And that's, Abotai, B'at Hashem, what we want everyone to focus on, not only today, but this entire week. Abotai, build our desire for Geulah, and the Geulah will come.